welcome back to INF People. I'm Derek, and today we will talk about the top 5 albums for INFPs, or more specifically, the top 5 albums that I think can help INFPs to not feel so lonely.
Dirty computer walking by. If you look closer, you'll recognize.
So what I mean is, I feel like it's a sort of common thing for INFPs to feel lonely in our society, like to feel sort of outcast or different from a lot of people. And these are 5 albums that help me to at least to feel, or it helped me to see that there are other people out there that are like me. And these artists are all INFPs as far as I know. Maybe a couple of them might be ENFPs, but those are like our sister types, so they're also pretty similar to us. So we have all the same functions in a slightly different order. But I think that they're all INFPs, the ones that we will talk about today. And this is just my personal list. It's not just for. It's not saying like these are the the best INFP albums or albums by INFPs. They're not ranked in an order from like the best to not the. To the least best in the top 5. They will just be more in the order that I listen to them in. And I think it's the same order that they came out in, but it's just when I discovered them. So let's get into it. So number 1 on the list is Linkin Park's Hybrid Theory. So this album is near and dear to my heart. This is an album that came out when I was in high school, that I listened to when I was in high school, and it kind of expanded my horizons when it comes to music. Before this, I pretty much only listened to like R&B and hip hop. Besides like the music that my mom listened to, that I would just hear her listen to. She listens to like top 40 sort of stuff, but I pretty much just listened to like R&B and hip hop on my own, like the stuff that I would listen to myself. But one of my friends in high school, he had suggested Linkin Park to me, and I was like, I don't listen to rock music, like I don't really want to mess with that. And he just kept insisting, and he gave me a burned CD of it, and it took me a while to listen to it, even after he gave me the CD. He just would, every day he'd be like, did you listen to that yet? Did you listen to it yet? It's so good, man. I'm telling you, you need to check it out. And finally I was like, yeah, but I don't like that kind of music. And he's like, but you know, one of the guys is a rapper, and so it's like a mix of the different genres. And I finally gave it a chance, and I'm glad that I did, because to this day it's still one of my favorite albums. And that's another thing. Any one of these albums on this list on any given day could be my favorite album of all time, or like the most important album to me, or like just like an album that really helped me get through something. All 5 of these on the list. But yeah, so yeah, listen to that Linkin Park, and just from front to back, it's such a solid album. There's not a single song on there that I would say is skippable, or that just isn't a great song, in my opinion. The only one that I used to not really love that much was the one that was just an instrumental, and then they ended up using that on one of the Matrix movies, so it made me like love that one too. So just every track on there, and so I plan on making a video eventually about being an INFP male. I've seen a couple of those, and I was going to make one of my own about my own personal experiences. And I remember when I was listening to this album, it was one of the first times where I was like, man, so there are other males out there that are emotional the way I am. Like before that, I mean, I still so like when I was younger, I would, like a lot of guys do, kind of mask my emotions, or I mean, introverted feeling is something that's under the surface anyway. So I would always just feel like, man, am I the only guy that's like that's having all these intense emotions inside of me. And listening to Linkin Park, it was like, all right, I guess I'm not alone. These guys have been going through some of the exact same, or they're going through the same sort of feelings that I'm going through. Like, it wasn't necessarily that their experiences were exactly the same, but the way they felt about the things that were going on in their lives, and, like in their lyrics, what they were talking about, was just like, yeah, now there's somebody else out there that's like this, that's also like this, and it makes me feel a lot better about myself. Sort of like, I don't know, like before that, I just always felt like I was the only guy who was like this, like just emotional like that. Like there were artists that I listened to that were emotional, like I used to love DMX at that same time, and like he was really emotional, but his emotion was like really aggressive, and like the way he channeled it was different. But with Linkin Park, it was more like a vulnerability that they were very open about just feeling like about not feeling good and things like that. I mean, DMX is like that too, but yeah, but I don't know. I just really felt it. I really identified with it. So yeah, that's why that one is the first album on our list for the top 5 albums for INFPs, to help us not feel so lonely. That was one of the main albums. Like that album helped me get through high school. Like it really crushed me when I found out what happened to Chester, the lead singer, because like I feel like that album really helped me get through a time where I was having a hard time. So yeah, R.I.P. But yeah, so that's one of my all-time favorite albums, and I think that I think that other INFPs might be able to identify with it also. That's my personal list for my favorite INFP albums that can help you not feel lonely if you are feeling lonely as an INFP. So yeah, let me know in the comments what are your favorite albums as an INFP. What's your top 5? And then specifically, what albums do you like, or what albums helped you feel like you were kind of represented? That's something else about these albums. Like they help me feel like somebody was representing me almost. Like, and that's one of the reasons why I love all these albums. So yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll see you guys next time. Peace and love. Oh yeah, honorable mention to Nirvana. Oh no, never mind. We don't need to say that. So